Hi everyone, it's Alex, and today I wanted to review Call Me By Your Name. It's a story about Elio, a 17-year-old boy living in Italy with his father and the rest of his family. And it's also about Oliver, who's a student from America studying where Elio lives with his family for research. I will start this video by saying that this is probably the most perfect summer read ever. I really wanted to read this whenever I heard that the movie was coming out because it looks absolutely beautiful. Call Me By Your Name seems notorious for being very much about the physical. There's a famous scene where Elio and Oliver do some stuff. I was very much interested in how the execution of sort of these little invisible versus the visible moments transpired. It seems that Elio, in a way so confident with doing what he does in order to get Oliver's attention, there are times where Elio does revert back into his shyness with his inexperience. At first I was thinking that there was no way that Elio as a 17-year-old could have such intimate and beautiful and mature thoughts towards Oliver. But then of course those thoughts never seem to lead to his actions. Elio in his own inexperience seems to become very much not like himself, or at least when in the presence of others. Elio to me seems very much still a boy that's still trying to impress the people around him. What's even more beautiful about this book to me is kind of this sense of impermanence, and that impermanence really sets really well with how the setting is described and just being somewhere in the Italian countryside. There's always this specific focus to setting and scene and placement in this book, where Elio and Oliver can kind of come up with their progression of how these places are changing due to their evolving relationship. The prose itself is so beautiful, and I found myself underlining so many things and always just imagining those quotes in my brain forever. That being said, this book very much is about the physical, but I also think it's just as much about whenever we leave people, not even people we like romantically, but just the idea of people that are very important to us, and kind of the silent relationships that go on versus the actual verbal ones. Whether it's through the body language of Elio, or even with how Oliver says the phrase later all the time, to me it seems like there's always this melancholy presence in this book while I was reading it. And it's just as much about the invisible, like I mentioned earlier, where it seems just as much about longing, desire, and the escapism that people can inflict on you. I would highly recommend this book. It was one of my favorite reads of the year, and I would definitely recommend seeing the movie as well, even though I haven't seen it yet. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.